Hello?
You look like a woman in a lot of these pictures that I'm seeing. Guys, all of these filters that these women use to make themselves look a little sassier, a little more beautiful.
I wanted to see what this bald filter looked like on me because everyone's doing it and I wanted it to look like what I looked like when I was bald. Huh. I talk really fast and I have a stutter. Let me explain how that works. A regular person who can talk really fast generally has a straight road like a racetrack. Just one straight line and zooms down the road with no problem. My racetrack has potholes and rumble strips and speed bumps to get to my destination, so I fall over everything. So, regular person, it seems like today is going to be a wonderful day. Then there's me. It's going to be kind of fucking okay today, I suppose.
Post life hack.
Jesus Christ, learn to clean your toaster. Look at that thing. Fucking hell. Clean toaster's a happy toaster. Also, no tetanus. Hey, Cletus. Yeah? What are you having for lunch today? I'm having an Adam's apple. What? An Adam's apple. Adam over there sells apples. Huh.
Yeah, well, I just want to let you know that I heard that you've been talking some smack, and I just want you to know that I've been taking Taekwondo lessons in the back of the Walmart Supercenter, so if you don't want to get hurt, then you better stop.
Get comfortable, I'm gonna tell you a quick story. Back when I was young back home, there was a guy called Jimmy. He was an asshole. That's the end.
The weather today is fantastic. So this diddly dang thing here picks up like a neon shadow, which is pretty damn cool, but also it picks up tattoos, supposedly. Let's find out, shall we? Arm tattoo? God, yes. Other arm tattoo? Hell yeah. Other arm tattoo? God damn it, yeah. Back of the leg? Hell yeah. The hardest part about doing videos for TikTok, or for YouTube for that matter, is to figure out what you want to do, because they don't always coincide, do they? They're quite vast, different in my experience. But you know, it's all good, man. One step at a time, yeah. I'm gonna try and figure out one thing and then do the other. It's all part of the plan, everyone. Yeah, and shit.
Tell you, no girl wants to get in bed with a guy who can go, ha! Let me see you take your pants off!
Let me enter that void for some suspicious Martian activity!
Tell me you got it without telling me you
Apparently these two here are gonna duke it out. These two guys right here. Now I'm inclined to believe it's gonna be the big gorilla kind of man. You wanna know why? I'll tell you why. I'll court a guy from Kung Fu Panda. Monkey.
I've noticed something a little odd lately. If I'm the one speaking, I'm the one telling you, people respond with this. Bro, things are cock lately. You can't buy booze or fuck all. I'm telling you, bro. No, I'm telling you. When you spend more time online talking to Americans on Discord or whatever, you have to realize there's a lot of South African words that are slang terms and they're not going to understand them, but we don't realize we're actually saying them. Because it's so part of our vocabulary. There's a few of them you have to omit if they're ever going to understand you. Like, oh, where? Greetings. Lekker. You know? I'm driving my bakkie. That's gift, brew. Yes. Let's go to a braai. Shot, brew. Oh, mooi. Brew. Dop. Take a cock. Chana. Yes, like it, brew. Joel. Kazi. Moer. Bliksem. Donder. Babalas. They're not going to understand any of those. We don't realize we say them so very often. Conversations is difficult with foreign. I woke up to a random thought. Everybody always has a favorite dinosaur, right? Everyone does. It's always a T-Rex or a Velociraptor or the like. Anyone with an M that you can actually remember. Mine's a Pachycephalosaurus because I'm so quirky. Yeah, I tend to talk really fast and I do tend to sound nonsensical when I ramble a lot. That's just because my head's a mess. So I can go from here, more of like an ASMR type voice. But I'll stop there because it's more fun to do. Yeah, pitched voice. For some reason, I've always liked goblins, and I'm a pixel artist, so I thought I'd turn myself into a goblin. Check it.
Right there. Right there. There I am. An annoyed, angry little goblin, because that's what I think I am.
Hey, Duderinos, I'm gonna tell you a story real quick, man. Mom came to me one day and was like, today we're gonna give you formula and no more titty for you. That was a pretty shit fucking day. There is this assumption, because of the way I speak, that I can't understand Afrikaans, especially coming from Afrikaans customers, and they can say what they want. Hallo daar. Ek soek een van daai oue handvatsels vir die ou Cobra kraan dingetjie. Okay, yep. Die laat weet nie wat die hel ek nou sê. Meneer, ek verstaan alles wat jy nou sê. Do you know what this voice effect is best suited for? I'll tell you! is to get that gorillas effect. Let me show you. I'm happy, feeling glad I got sunshine. Wait. Translation. Gelukkig, ik voel blij ik het zonschijn. En het is echt net los, maar niet verlang mijn toekomst. Dit komt nou aan, dit komt nou. It actually works, sir!
I do my hair talk, check my nails. Baby, how you feeling? Feeling overwhelmed.
And to wash the baby's hair.
Armstrong was a nickname for somebody with, you've guessed it, strong arms. Easy when you take.
Let's use that logic for some Afrikaans surnames, which are very often on the nose. Van der Kerk, which is of not church, or surname not church, either way, no church. Then there's Van Vieren, of fire, or surname fire, which is rad, but also what's better than that is Olivier, oil fire. I know it's like an Afrikaans pronunciation of Oliver, but still, Olivier, oil fire, sounds rad as hell. Van Rooyen, of red. There must be all gingers, it's like the Afrikaans equivalent of Weasley. Niemand. Nobody. To the point! We're certainly reaching on this one, but straight on. A dumb argument. Then we have one of the bad guys from Mega Man, Cutman, Sneeman. Sneeman is a Mega Man. To any Eastern Cape South African residents, notice on Algoa FM, I don't know if they're trying to overly do to themselves, but like when they do like, your music, your world, Algoa FM, need. In most cases, if you're going to translate an English word into a foreign language, it'll sound suave, sophisticated, or at most cool. Except if you translate moustache, we sound sophisticated to Afrikaans. A snore. Oh, dude, could you hand me a spoon? Oh, yeah, sure. Oh, thanks. No, not a spoon, man. I meant the other one, the spoon with the slits. It's like a trident, but small. You twirl your noodles with it. It rhymes with pork. Like a mini hand spear. You mean goes hand in hand with a knife? It's like a pitchfork, but not. A fork. That's it, thanks, man. You know there's an English sentence that goes, buffalo, 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 buffalo is the grammatically correct sentence. Afrikaans has one too, I figured out. Die bliksem te bliksem, die bliksem te bliksem te bliksem te bliksem gebliksem van die bliksem te bliksem en oorgebliksem. I've never really enjoyed the color of gold, but lately, I think I've got a problem. You know you've made a good cup of coffee when you as a non-religious man can almost see heaven. When songs in a different language sound rad as hell, it's because you have no idea what they're saying. When you translate it, it sounds boring as hell. Lion King's opening song in Zulu, for example. Pretty much, Dad, look over there, it's a lion. Quite, it is in fact the lion. This is an office. What is the opposite of office? On fire. I feel like I should explain. Off ice. The Human Torch shouldn't go flame on, he should go office. The song 1985 was made by the band Burning for Soup in the year 2004. The modern equivalent of that would be making a song called 2002. Yeah! A good couple of years ago, talking like 12 years, for what seems like no reason, I made my own alphabet. I would think it was to be a bit more cryptic, so if I wrote something to myself, people wouldn't know what I'd be saying. And yet, till this day, I know it out of my head. They look like glyphs, don't they? Now, what does that say? It's just troglodyte. Hysterical. Language changes with time, so slang terms become more collectively used versus the actual word. So imagine a few generations ahead, language historians look back and realise, did you know that back in the day they said jealous and not jelly? It's so weird. Somebody in the public learns that and that guy becomes a cringy hipster who uses jealous and not jelly. Or they'll look back and realise that sabri was once sup and sup was once what's up. Fucking mind-blowing to them. Or let's pick something on the fringes like totes was once totally, or rad was once radical. Pick something at random, lit was once something like awesome. To any rock or metal fans, you know when you're singing along to a song and then a part comes when they're growling or screaming, whatever, and then you kind of just go along to it, then go back to singing because singing's the easy part. The growling part's like a I just mouth along to it. A couple years ago, I realized the only and sole reason I initially got decent at doing those growls and things like that was because I was just singing along to songs. And there was a point many years back where I realized this was the case. I was singing along to Twisted Transistor, and this happened. Hey you, this won't hurt a bit, this won't hurt a bit, this won't hurt. I'm like, wait, let's start a band? The funniest thing is that Afrikaans does not always translate well to English. For example, ek smaak het stukkend. I tasted broken. Oh my god, that's not your accent, dude, for real? I am South African as well, my god. That's not a real accent though, Tommy. It's a fake accent. Check the comments. You're like the 100th person to point in the title. Your jokes just go over you guys' heads. If you ever encounter anybody that wants to learn Afrikaans, I know there aren't many, but I actually encountered somebody from Chechnya in Eastern Europe. Learning Afrikaans was fascinating. Anyway, if you want to teach somebody Afrikaans and teach them a wrong word to mess with them, teach them the word donderweer and tell them it means a continuous beatdown, and you wouldn't be wrong. I think it's perfectly normal to feel like an alien when observing the average human when you have autism. Witnessing them doing normal things that you ordinarily struggle with, like being organized, emoting correctly, talking. Also, you kind of stand out, don't you? Because you're so strange. It doesn't really help when I write notes to myself like this. Yeah. As a rock fan and metalhead, I'm going to say something rather blasphemous. I've never liked Metallica. You may now apply tar and feathers. You know when you go to a strip club and you take the money and make it rain, imagine taking 5 rand coins and making it hail.
Quite a few times.
50 times?
More.
100 times?
More.
200 times?
More.
500 times?
Probably.
You would think so, but I have a stutter and I murmur a lot. So a lot of the time, whenever you see a video, you have no idea how many takes I've done before that to get to that video. Yeah, I would like to, but I can't. I'm prone to random mood changes, so a lot of the time it's either highs, either lows, and in betweens. I'm feeling a bit hyperactive or not. It's like a Stanley, I've got Clayton, but right now I'm feeling a bit like Todd. Man, this is Todd. Toddman, of course, is my last name for sure, dude. Let's go have a fantastic day. But first, on the menu is pine cones and celery, my dude. Yeah. Why a mustache, am I right? The reactions I often get from daily people for the look that I have is like, hey, you should go in the porn industry. You belong as an 80s cop. So out of all the looks and fashionable choices at my disposal, why did I go with a mustache? I'll tell you why. Well, let's see. First, I always wanted one. I used to have a picture on my wall back in high school because we all did, and the one picture was a mannequin with a mustache. It was art. My father was a very big Freddie Mercury fan, even had the moustache look and everything, so perhaps that somehow had a subconscious effect on me. So I've kind of always looked younger than I am. So I figured I better grow some facial hair to look a bit older so people will actually take me seriously. I figured a moustache was the only real piece of facial hair that I could actually grow, so here it is.
South Africa, you mean to tell me that this and this are the same thing? Get your shit together.
God ruined a perfectly good asshole when he put teeth in your mouth.
There are gentlemen all over TikTok with lovely mustaches, and they have a video somewhere where they explain their morning routine and how they get their mustache in this shape and keeping it healthy. And normally there's waxes and sort of solutions and so on to get this effect. Most of the time I just wake up like this and it looks fantastic. And it's there, but sometimes it requires a bit of coercing with a lovely comb and sort that out, and there we go. Mustache. Fresh. My bad. What I said was the power was out. I have no idea if it was intentional, but every father in the history of South Africa was wearing these flip-flops. I have never seen any of them wear any other kind but these. Do you want to know how I cope with the day? Mostly ticks and sound effects. Most of the time, you'll find me doing things like wow, and so on. There's loads of them. Is the power out? Yes. Is the generator noisy? Yes. Have I had my morning dose of caffeine? No. Anybody else get intrusive thoughts? But not always in a negative way. Some of them are just random words or things that you haven't thought of in about a decade. Today's example is vacuole, ribosomes, cryptolibrochun, which are things from biology that I haven't thought of since the 10th grade, which is a long time ago. Complimenting people nowadays is so damn difficult. I mean, if I say to you, you have a fantastic jawline, wouldn't you feel all tingly inside? Oh, look at you, you're a smart ass, aren't you? Folk uit ons land. Dank jy, ek verstaan nie wat jy nou sê. bloody Bluxham. Takes you 2 seconds to go check my profile to see that I'm a local just like you, born and raised. This accent's not real, dumbass. It is extremely late, so I am rather tired. But thank you, I appreciate that. For an East African that's abroad in the USA, go to a guy with no hair and rub him on the head and go, bless. We know what it means, but he's thinking he's being blessed. I think at this point we've proven that South Africans are easily fooled as far as accents go. Not every day a local comes along that can do an accent that can fool you. At least convincingly so. I was thinking I should go into South African servers on video games and do accents and see how long I can keep the ruse going on for. I mean, I did it last night. I went on to Counter-Strike Go and I'm like, I'm from Arkansas. And they were like, whoa, you totally are, man. Oh yeah, it's a series of videos where I do a bunch of accents and record the whole conversation and gameplay and see how well those do. Are you guys interested? Yes, South Africa, let's talk for a moment. A word you use for French fries is slap chips. That's fine and all, but that can get a bit confusing at times. Slap chips means sloppy fries, but it also means all fries. So how do you tell somebody you want fries that ain't drenched in oil? Rather, you want crispy fries or something. So there's no way to ask for fries that are crispy, because if you walk around telling people you want crispy chips, they'll look at you like you're a maniac. Granted, there are some exceptions, but in your experience, what is a douchebag name? If you hear the name, you're more than likely thinking, yep, I've met 8 of them, and they're all douchebags, apart from 1 or 2. Byron. Every Byron, apart from like 1, but Byron. Got a mustache and I'm driving with a mustache. Got a mustache and I'm driving with a mustache. I've been drinking cheap coffee for so long, Rick Coffee and the like, that when it comes to drinking the more expensive stuff like Jacobs or whatever, I figured I still kind of prefer the cheap stuff. I'm cheap to the core.